Hey, it's a beautiful day here in Columbia, Maryland, and it's a little bit chilly, but I was out here getting my steps in. One of my favorite places to walk is around this lake here, and I wanted to take a minute at the end of my time today to share with you something that's been on my heart, and it's a topic that I don't typically touch on because it's very sensitive to me. But in an effort to stay true to my commitment for these conversations, to make sure that they are authentic, challenging, and transformative, I really felt this pressing on me, and I wanted to make sure that I didn't miss an opportunity to speak to somebody who might be going through the same thing. So what I want to say is just a very simple message to those of you who are single parents, and those of you who have custody arrangements that require your children to be away from you. And I just want to acknowledge you, and I want to acknowledge that everyone handles this kind of thing differently. You know, for some people, they look at it as this is an opportunity for me to be by myself and to have time to myself and to get help with my children. And, you know, they're very adamant about the other parent making sure that they pull their weight. And that's fine. And that's normal for whoever that is for, right? But for some of you, and for myself, it's not the same, right? You really miss your children when they're not with you. And I want to just acknowledge that side of it, because I think that sometimes we don't feel like we can, just be authentic in that place. I never had children with the idea that I would spend 50% of their life with them, or their childhood, right? Like, that's not the intention most of us have. And so when you have that absence, I am an extremely nurturing person. I enjoy my children. Like, I don't remember ever having a day that I went to work when I was up all night nursing, driving a commute, going to work. Like, I never felt the drag of being so exhausted, wishing that I didn't have to do it. Like, I have just enjoyed every moment of parenting, like every moment. And so when I'm not with my children, I miss them. Like, I want to talk to them. I want to know what's going on with their day. I just want to be near with them. I miss when they don't come climb into bed with me at night, Do I get to sleep a little bit better when they're gone? Maybe. Like, maybe they're not taking up the whole bed. But I just want to say to those of you who feel similar things, right? Like, you haven't necessarily settled into that place where, you thrive in that time alone, but you're in the place where you miss your kids. I just want to say that I see you and you're not alone, and that it's okay for you to feel that way, and it's okay for your children to know that you miss them. It's like this, it's this weird balance that we're always trying to make, right? It's like this balance between understanding that it's okay for us to feel the way that we do, and then wanting to be strong, and then not wanting adult things to impact your children, but still wanting to make sure that you're living an honest and authentic life. Like, there's all of these ways. Like, it's like, how do you be strong and heartbroken at the same time? Like, what? We have these things, these expectations, and nobody gives us a guidebook or a handbook or, instructions on how to navigate the broken areas of our lives. And so a lot of us, we just try to put Band-Aids on them. We try to act like we're not impacted, that we're not affected. We try to act like everything's okay. Sometimes we end up in bitterness and resentment and blame on the other person. Like, who knows? There's all of these different ways that we try to cope with this thing called life and brokenness. And so I just wanted to get on today and let you know that I'm thinking about you and I'm praying for you, because I know a lot of you are in similar situations, and it's not something that we always talk about. And sometimes we talk about it to people and people might not understand, or people might make comments. Like I remember somebody saying to me one time, like, I would be the best 50-50 parent ever. I would love to have all of that time by myself and my life would just be, it's like, okay, that's fine for somebody if that's how they feel. But then there are those of us who feel a different way, like who enjoy our kids and want to be with our kids as much as is physically possible. And for those of you who are feeling that place of loss, or that place of heartache, or that place of emptiness, I just want you to know that I see you and you're not alone. And I believe that truly what the enemy means for evil, God will turn for good. I also believe that the enemy who comes to steal, kill, and destroy, that he will be held accountable, and that he will be required to pay back sevenfold all that has been stolen in your life. And whether it's days, whether it's minutes, whether it's nights, whether it's years, whatever has been stolen from you, robbed from you. And I'm not talking about people, I'm talking about the enemy, because we understand and recognize that we don't wrestle against flesh and blood, but against principalities and powers and spiritual wickedness in high places. And I want to say today and expose the enemy and making you think that that weakness somehow has to be hidden, because that weakness is actually where your greatest strength is, right? Like sometimes we don't want to admit the weakness because we don't want the enemy to come in and take advantage of that weak area or that vulnerability. Listen, I've gotten to a point in my life where I really don't care what the enemy tries to do anymore. I'm sick and tired of it, to be honest with you, because the truth of the matter is that no weapon formed against us will prosper. And our vulnerabilities, scripture says that in our weakness, he is made strong. So all of those areas of vulnerability, all of those areas of weakness, that's just an opportunity for God to perform on your behalf in and through you. So today, here's a little shout out to all of you parents who are dealing with custody issues. Custody issues. It's not the way God intended it. It's not the way God intended it for you to be away from your children. I know, and it sucks. It super sucks. But God is going to turn it for good. I don't know how he's going to do it in your life. I don't know how he's going to do it in my life. But what I do know is that his promise is that what the enemy meant for evil, God meant for good. And he's working on your behalf even right now. So take advantage of the time, not to wallow in despair, not to be distracted, not to try to fill the void with things that are not for your best, but press into God, seek after what his will is for your life. Press in, take advantage of the moments of peace and use those times to make sure that the environment that you create for your children when they are with you is a place of peace, a place of joy, because you can't be in that place of peace and joy if you're not using those times when you're not with them to create and develop that thing in yourself. You know, I was talking to somebody today and they were sharing a problem that they were having with one of their children. And I was like, okay, but this is where you have to be. Like you can be worried about it because we're human, right? We're going to worry about things concerning our children. But we can't move to the place of panic in the same place. Like if your child is dealing with something that's a hard situation, like our job is to be that firm foundation for them. And so in order for you to create that firm foundation for your children when they are with you, you've got to take the time when they aren't with you to develop strength, to develop joy, to develop peace, to develop focus, to develop a heart of forgiveness, right? Like not allowing the struggle or the burden of whatever's happening in your own adult personal life to cause you to become hardened, bitter, resentful, any of those things. So that when your children are with you, they're coming into an environment of stress, or they're coming into an environment of unforgiveness, or they're coming into an environment of bitterness and anger and resentment, right? Because the truth is, like, is not your children's fault. It's not your children's problem. Anything that they're dealing with, any negative behavior, any negative attitudes that they have because of the situation that's been created, it's not their problem. They didn't create that. So this level of grace has to be extended for them, and you've got to do your best to create an environment that is secure, that is stable, that says, listen, the winds of life are going to blow. Like, I'm not going to lie. I miss my children, and they know that. But what they also know is that life is not, number one, this is not what God intended for us. So I'm not gonna just pretend like, oh yeah, everybody has different situations, and this is just, the way life is and the way it works. Well, yeah, it is, but it works that way because of sin. It's not God's best for us. But what we also understand is that there is a way for us to take the winds that blow in life and to make the very best out of it, to embrace the hard parts, and to thrive in the great parts, right? And so I don't know if any of this is really organized or making sense, but I just wanted to let you know today that I see you and I feel you, and God is going to work it out. So don't worry, don't stress. Just know that whatever time you have when you're away from your children, that God can use that time to develop you and to create something so beautiful in you that it will cause the time that you have to be together to be maximized for His glory. All right, take care.